G'day, the guys over at YouTube told me if I start my video a little bit different than the others, I'll grab your attention. They did warn me though that I should not start with the name, "Hi, my name is John." That sounds way too much like a meeting announcement. They did tell me though, if I tell you a story that you might listen a little bit longer. So here goes. Once upon a time in a land far, far away. Well, we're not kids anymore and I thought that'll not work. I have a story to tell you though. A story about myself. It started 30 years ago when I was a boy of about 15 years old. I one day sat outside underneath a tree, just daydreaming, just what boys do. And a thought came up. What if I could get a superpower? I thought about it, and as you know, most superpowers were taken. Well, I thought deep and I realized, but wisdom. King Solomon asked for wisdom, so that must be a superpower. After all, he became king. He had a lot of money and a lot of influence. So I thought wisdom would be the ideal superpower that I would like to have. One thing I didn't realize about wisdom as a superpower, this is not something that you just get. This is something that you gain. You work for wisdom. But something did happen that day. I opened up my mind for new adventures, for the journey of wisdom to start. That journey has taken me all around the world. I visited 20 countries. I sailed the Mediterranean. I've crossed the Atlantic. And solo, I've backpacked from here right up to the equator, the whole of East Africa, 10,352 kilometers. As I said, I did that solo. During my career, I guided a lot of people. Influential people, rich people, people with titles. But those that without titles that I remember most. I had 4,000 kids that I've taken on tour and that I've had a strong influence on. And that is my proudest moments. Later in life, when I became more serious, I studied IT. I qualified as a SAP Material Management Consultant, as well later on as a project manager. But it's not these things that's so easy to list that really brought me along the wisdom, but it is the failures that I made in my life that really brought along the wisdom that I have. But one morning I woke up yet again with a thought, and I realized after thinking of that day 30 years ago that I've gained the wisdom that I really looked for. And I have that superpower, but what is it worth if I can't share it? So I went out and I've spoken to people, shared my wisdom, just to be annoyed by the fact that they don't listen. People are not interested in this wisdom of mine. I felt a bit like a failure. I realized that 30 years is wasted, no wisdom. I pondered on that and I realized that the real wisdom that I gained was not the knowledge, but is how to treat people and work with people. How to have great rapport with people, so that they open up and they start talking to me. It is this point in my life that I realized, but I would like to be a life coach. I want to put this superpower of mine into action. So you may ask, once we have this great rapport and we're connected, what then? Well, I think the most important thing to do is, or to realize, is what is a life coach for? And how can a life coach change things for you? When do we need a life coach? That answer is easy. Once you feel a need for something in your life, something that's a void, if you experience this gap in your life, imagine walking on a walking trail, and all of a sudden you have this big gorge in front of you, and you need to cross over to the opposite side. That is what a life coach do, to assist you to cross this valley to the other side. But there's one requirement. It's not everybody that can work with a life coach and have success. You must want to cross that gap. You must want to be able to continue your journey on the other side and realize that life don't stop here. Life actually continues beyond. So my requirement for you is that great want. 30 years ago, when I was 15 years old, that is what I wanted to do. I wanted to have a great life, gain wisdom, and that brought me forward to the point where I am now. I am now what I would like to call a life specialist. My name is Coach Claudius. This is my introduction video. Hope to see you soon.